Hello and welcome to Dreambox and Academic Overtime. We're going to talk today about assigning standard-based instruction within Dreambox and kind of talking about some focus standards to start with Academic Overtime this summer. So we have a document that we've been working on. The math coaches and the English coaches put together some focus standards to really dig deeper into on academic overtime, and I'm going to show you how to assign those within Dreambox. So first, let's talk about this spreadsheet where we have the focus standards here. I'm on the math tab. We tried to find at least 3 standards that our students did not score well on or did not master on Mastery Connect, and that also have a large bulk percentage on the blueprint. So if you'll notice, for each grade level, we put a OAS standard here. If you'll hover over it, you can see exactly what that standard is. It gives you the percentage on the blueprint for that standard, and then the percentage that our students did not master on the winter benchmark. So there's 3 standards for each grade level. Today, I'm going to focus directly on 4th grade. We've picked out 3 different standards here, 2 in numbers and operations, and then 1 in geometry. So I just chose 4th grade to start with as far as how to schedule in Dreambox. So again, there's the percentage here of the blueprint, and then the percentage our students EPIC students did not master on the winter benchmark. So we put those in there for you. So for Dreambox, we're just going to follow this OAS standard because Dreambox is OAS aligned. So we're going to just pay attention to these 3 standards here when looking at 4th grade. So as I go back into Dreambox, we're going to talk about 4 different things today. They all tie in together, so it's not really 4 steps, but it's we're going to look at the dashboard. We're going to look at assignments, and then a standards page that I love, and I think you guys, if you haven't seen it yet, you will enjoy. And then also what it looks like from the student view. So first, let's go into the dashboard. So my dashboard looks a little bit different than your dashboard, but if you'll go up here to the top, so you're usually on your home page when you log in, but in order for me to not show student names, I'm just going to go in with some slides so that you guys can kind of check it out. So if you will click on reports at the top, like I said, I think you have a home screen. I do not have a home screen, but you have a home screen here, and then also if you will click reports at the top, it looks like this. From there, if you will click on, I think all of this is defaulted, your teacher is defaulted, but if you click on the classroom, so originally it's going to say all classrooms, and if you click into your teacher name, I just chose Brooke Abney because she was first on the list. If you will just click into your classroom, more boxes will pop up, so more reports will follow. But you have to click into your classroom in order to see that information. So again, from your home page, you're going to click reports at the top. You're going to click your teacher name under classroom. So it'll say all classrooms, and you want to click on your teacher name. And then that last thing I want you to take a look at the top is Oklahoma Academic Standards. If yours does not say Oklahoma Academic Standards, you need to click on that, and that will pop up a list, and you just want to click on OAS to make sure that you are OAS aligned there. Okay, so the first report we're going to look at is the assignment history, and from there I'm going to show you how to assign standards within Dreambox. So if you'll just click on that box, this screen will pop up and it will give you your assignment history. If you have never assigned anything in Dreambox, then this will pop up here, this little icon. But if you have previously assigned things in Dreambox, a list of those assignments will pop up and whether or not they were finished. A couple of things about assignments in Dreambox are there is a long-term assignment and a short-term assignment. For academic overtime, I think it's probably important to focus on several different standards and try to show proficiency in as many as possible. So since it's just a few weeks, we are probably going to just look at short-term assignments. In the webinar, someone was asking, well, can I assign a long-term assignment for that standard? Yes, but I think it's probably best if that student only works 1 or 2 weeks on a standard and then you move on to another one since we don't have much time. So how assignments work is you will have different types of assignments for different types of students where they are in that standard. If you have a short-term assignment, the assignment will last 1 to 2 weeks. And if that student's never clicked on the assignment to complete it, it will show you that after 1 week, it will show that that student did not complete the assignment. At the end of 1 week, if they clicked on it but did not demonstrate understanding, you'll see this grayed out check mark. And then if the student clicked on it and demonstrated understanding, you'll see the green check mark. So those are the difference after the lesson is completed, what you will see. There is a chance that that assignment can time out and the student never completed it or never clicked on it. So you'll just know, hey, I noticed that you never actually completed that assignment. I need you to go in and make sure that you're working on the assignments that I'm giving you. The lesson type means that if a student is a 4th grader and has already started this standard within the year, sometime in Dreambox, that will show that that student is progressing in that standard, and they will be given a different assignment than a student that just started this lesson and has never worked in that standard. So they will start out at like a beginning lesson, and then the student that's progressing will be given a different type of lesson that's after a beginning lesson. So it's a more challenging because they've already worked in the standard. So they're not all going to have the same sessions. They're going to have different types of lessons within that. So up here at the top, you're going to click on Add Assignment, and it's going to take you to a page that looks like this. So in Dreambox, students are only allowed 2 lessons at a time, whether that's a long-term assignment or a short-term assignment. They are only allowed 2 assignments at a time. So again, we're going to look at this academic overtime focus standards. We're going to look at that document. And again, I said I was going to focus on 4th grade. So the first standard I'm going to assign for this student is that 4N 1.4. So I'm going to take a look and I'm going to click on short-term assignment. I'm going to choose 1 to 2 weeks. You can choose more if you think they need it, but they should be able to master this standard within a couple of weeks if they are on grade level. So I'm going to select 4th grade. I'm going to select numbers and operations and the exact standard that I need. Down here, it will show you what standard you're assigning and the time limit. So someone was saying in the webinar, do we need to wait till next week to assign these standards? If you assign them this week, they are only going to assign through that week. You cannot change the start and end date. However, you can assign it for 2 weeks and just have them start working on it next week. So that will work. From here, if you scroll down the page, it will show you something that looks like this. So you want to scroll down to see what students you are assigning this to. So Dreambox automatically defaults anyone that has not started this standard to go ahead and check that so that you are assigning that standard. They also default to click anyone that has started the standard and is progressing in it. It also defaults to not clicking any of the students who have shown proficiency in this standard. So anyone that has completed this standard will not be assigned. So I like that because I'm not real sure why there's any reason you would assign something a student has already shown proficiency in unless you need to show mastery or something. So the one thing you want to look at though is the ones that have not started may not be 4th graders. So you don't want to assign a 4th grade standard to a 3rd grade student. So you may just want to unclick the 2 students that are not your 4th graders and make sure that they don't get assigned something that they are going to struggle in. So if you'll notice, then I just have 2 of these not started students. These are my 4th graders, and then these students are my 4th graders that have already progressed in this standard, which is great. We're going to assign that. And then down here at the bottom, we're going to click Add Assignment. So that standard will be assigned to all students that I have clicked here at the bottom. So one other thing I'm going to show you is another report. So that was the assignments history report and how to assign things within an assignment. The standards report is really cool though too, because you can assign standards from that report. So from the dashboard, under reports, you're just going to click on the standards report and it will look like this. So a few things up at the top. Again, if I'm going too fast, feel free to pause this video and jump into Dreambox on your own. So up here at the top is all grade levels. So I just clicked on 4th grade because that's the standard I want to assign. I have boxed here those 3 standards that we found in that focus standards report, that spreadsheet. So I have just highlighted those here. Those are the ones I'm going to want to assign from this page. So I'm going to take a look at those. Remember, only 2 assignments can be assigned at a time in Dreambox. So if that student, or I'll show you that in just a second. So I'm going to look at this one directly. This student here, I don't have student names, but this student here I notice has already started this lesson, which is awesome. They are progressing in this standard. So I want to go ahead and start with that because they can probably show proficiency pretty quickly. So I'm going to click right here on this star. That's calendar, and that star says that it is a short-term assignment. So I'm going to click from here, and it's going to take me straight back to the assignments page. I can click, or actually defaulted is already short-term assignment, 1 week. You can toggle that and change it. And then all of this is defaulted for you because I clicked on that standard. So it takes you right back to that page. So I'm going to, and I'm going to take you back to show you the students really quickly. So again, I'm going to go back to the standards page here. If you'll notice, I clicked right here on this star from the dashboard. I clicked on the standards page. It took me to the assignments page again, and all of this is defaulted. So that's just another way you can assign directly from there. So if you want to assign the next one, you can go back to the standards page, click on this one, and it will take you directly there with that information defaulted. So that's the standards page using that academic focus standards in 4th grade. So we're going to go back to, we're going to go back to the dashboard. So we've talked about the dashboard and what that looks like. Here's all the reports there. We talked about the assignments page and how to assign things, and we talked about the standards page and how to assign those. So from here, I want to make sure and take a look at the student view and what the student sees. So here is a short-term assignment with this star and then a long-term assignment. So for 3 through 8, they're going to see something more like this screen, and you will have to communicate to your students that they need to be working on the starred assignment. So when you assign something in short term, it does give you that little star, and you need to tell the students to work on that first. Dreambox does not default to that assignment, so the students can work anywhere. This is a pro and a con. The con is they forget to click on the start assignment and they click somewhere else. But also the pro is if you forget to assign something, the students have plenty of things they can work on. So make sure that when you do assign something that you communicate to the students that they want to work on this starred assignment first. In K through 2, they do have to click on a theme and a pathway before they see those assignments pop up here. So that's the only difference. They have to click on a path and a theme that they want to work in, and then they will see the assignment in that pathway. So next, I would just want to jump into Clever and answer any questions that you guys may have. This is a video, so you probably won't have any questions. But from here, from logging into Clever, you're just going to click on your Dreambox app and go from there. So I'm going to go back and just talk a little bit about one more time some of the things that we went over as a summary, and then you guys are free to go and explore and send me any questions you may have. So don't forget, we have this focus standards within the slides. That's just a document of all the standards that we would encourage you to focus on. It's not limited to, but we just highlighted some of the standards our students are struggling in and also have a bulk or a large percentage in the blueprint. So again, if your students are below grade level, you can take this lesson into a Zoom and you can work with the student. You can also assign something below grade level. So for 4N 1.4, you might assign something with estimating products in a 3rd grade level that's not 3 digits. So you would just take a look at some of the 3rd grade standards and say, oh, okay, that's estimating products within 3rd grade. And you might want to assign a below grade level standard and then follow it up with on grade level standard after going over maybe the lesson in a Zoom as well. So there's some follow-up you can do as well within this spreadsheet to get those students on grade level as quickly as possible. So within Dreambox, we talked about the dashboard. Again, at the top, you would log in and you're going to have your home page and then click reports at the top. Make sure that you're in your classroom and make sure you have Oklahoma standards. The two things we focused on today were the assignments history and the standards page. So first, within the assignments history, there's long-term assignments and short-term assignments. You just click add assignments at the top. It will take you to a page. You can click short-term or long-term. You can assign the duration of the lesson. 1 to 2 weeks is a short-term assignment. You can select the grade level, numbers in operation, and the exact OAS standard. From there, you're going to scroll down and you're going to take a look at the students' names. And you want to unclick any students that are not 4th grade or that are proficient already in that standard. So one of the things I want to talk about, if a student is grayed out for some reason, that means that student and unclicked. That student has already had 2 assignments assigned to that student and you cannot click on them until one of those assignments is either removed or one of those assignments is completed. So from here, we also talked about the standards page. And again, you can take a look at all the standards in any grade level on the standards page, and you will have a list of students here and which students have shown proficiency in that standard and which are progressing or have not started. So from here, you can also assign a short-term assignment directly from that standard. You would click on that little calendar star. It will default to that standard here. And again, you can scroll down and see any students you want to assign it to. So last but not least, the student view, don't forget to communicate to your student that they need to work on the starred assignment first. So that was jumping into Clever. And then I just want to mention my name is Haley Bradley. I'm one of the math instructional coaches here. Below is my address and phone number. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out and I'm happy to go over any of this information with you. Thank you so much.